Hey everybody! Thursday night, 6 o'clock. Cooking with Kathy is back. We got a few things planned in the next few weeks for some holiday cooking for the holidays. Just doing some fun things. So we're on Thanksgiving Part 1 tonight. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Kathy Jones, and I'm the executive chef at Second Helpings. We started these Cooking with Kathy's back in March or April when all the craziness began, and who knew we would still be in all the craziness, but here we are. So we took a few months off, and I told everybody we'd bring it back around the holidays, so we're back around the holidays, and we're gonna have some fun. Let me know if you're out there watching. A little bit of dog action tonight for some reason. I don't know why, but the dogs are, I don't know, it's after the full moon at our house with the dogs, so apologies for that ahead of time. So let me know who's here. If you've got any questions, let me know. It's been a few months, so we're going to have fun, just like we used to do before. We've got the next, I think, four or five of these planned out just because we're doing some fun holiday things. And I'm trying to get you guys the recipes a week prior. So I'm a little behind, but I will have the recipes for next week's show out to you guys tomorrow afternoon. But tonight, we are going to do a turkey brine recipe, and then we're going to do a cranberry relish salad type recipe. So probably not too long tonight, but happy to take any questions or any thoughts, comments, whatever you guys want to talk about. As always, we're going to do that. $5 feeds a family of 4. We're still feeding a lot of people at Second Helpings with the help of the 3 satellite kitchens. We're up to about 40,000 meals a week. So nothing has really gone down. We went down a little bit, but not too much. We're still thankful that we've got the 3 satellite kitchens helping us out. We've got Psalms, we've got Side Street Deli, and Nesso. All 3 are still on board helping us out. So we really appreciate that. And we appreciate you guys a lot too. So let's talk about brining a turkey. I have probably been brining a turkey, for too many years that I can remember now. But I think it's the best way to get that really moist turkey with a lot of flavor in it. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of go through. Obviously, we're not going to brine a turkey. The recipe that you guys have or is online, or I know Emily's posted it somewhere, is for a 20-pound turkey. So you can adjust accordingly. When I brine the turkey, I use a big cooler, and we keep the same cooler. I use it every year for brining the turkey, and it works great. We usually have about a 22, 25-pound turkey that we do. And I brine it overnight. I would suggest that you brine it for a minimum of 8 hours, because if you don't, it's not, it kind of defeats the purpose. But I like to brine it overnight. Usually it's cold enough out, you put that ice water in there, you put it in the cooler, set it out on the back porch, it's good to go until the next day. So what I use in my brine, it's a real simple brine. I don't do anything crazy or not. I start out with a gallon of water, and I put that on the stove. I like to use chicken's base. So instead of an actual chicken stock that you buy in the container, I buy this chicken base, and I really like it. You put it in there. I get the water going. I don't even get it boiling really. I just go ahead and put this in, and that's how I get my chicken stock. So again, just because I'm not really going to brine a turkey overnight tonight, I'm just going to show you this. But what I do is I use a coarser grain sea salt, and I've already got my gallon of water here. I haven't started it yet, so you're going to put a cup of sea salt in there. Then I like to use sugar in the raw. So I'm going to put a cup of that in there also. And now I'm going to turn it on. I'm not necessarily going to get that to a boil, but I want to make sure that I get the sugar and the salt all dissolved in there. And then what we're going to do, we'll get that going, and then I've got some fresh thyme, some fresh sage, some peppercorns. And once you get the chicken stock, and you don't have to use chicken stock if you just want to use water to dissolve your sugar and salt, that's fine too. But I like to use the stock because I like that flavor going in there. What's everybody having for dinner tonight? I forgot to ask the magic question. What's everybody eating tonight?
Patty said finner turkey dinner.
Ah, yeah. He's getting fat enough too. He can be a nice turkey dinner.
David Black says, hi chef, long time no see.
David, how's it going? Hope things are well. And we probably, we don't have to sit here and wait for all of this to dissolve. You'll get the idea. So once it's all dissolved and you're ready, what I do is I take the turkey and I'll put it in a cooler or whatever vehicle you're using to keep your turkey in for the night. We'll pour that salt and sugar water and stock over the turkey. Then I throw in my peppercorns. I just leave them just like they are, throw them in there. Throw in some thyme, some sage. Fill it with at least a gallon of ice water. I like to fill it so it covers the turkey and we got plenty of ice in there. That way we're not going to worry about that turkey getting hot. We're not going to worry about it getting in the danger zone. We're going to put plenty of ice and water in there. So that turkey is going to be way below 41 degrees and it's going to sit there all night and brine. It's the best thing. So that's my tip for brining for you guys. Like I said, it's a super basic recipe. And next week we're going to talk about sides, but I'm also going to explain to you guys what I do with the turkey after it comes out of the brine. One of the most important things, once the brining is over and we're getting ready to roast the turkey, you want to make sure that you rinse the turkey off really, really well, or you're going to have a really salty turkey. So you want to make sure that you rinse that off really well. And then I make a nice herb butter, and again, I'll use sage, I'll use thyme. Sometimes I'll put a little bit of lemon juice in there and I create a compound butter, and then just put it all underneath the skin of the turkey, and then I'll throw some herbs and a lemon or an orange inside the turkey, and we're ready to roast it. So that's my tip on brining turkey. If you have any questions, feel free to either ask them now, shoot me an email, Kathy@secondhelpings.org, and I'm happy to answer any questions about that. It's kind of hard to do a brine without the complete thing showing you, but I think you guys get the idea. You just want to dissolve that sugar and salt in the chicken stock or water, whatever you want to use.
Katie wants to know if you can do this for a turkey breast.
Absolutely. Yeah, do the same thing for a turkey breast. You may not need to make it as big as far as a gallon of water or stock or whatever, but yeah, definitely. I would do it for any kind of turkey you're going to do, and even on a small scale, if you want to do a chicken in the oven, this is really good to do for your chicken too. You don't need to do it near as long, but yeah, it's a good thing to make that chicken or turkey nice and moist, not dry. So definitely can do that for a turkey breast. What are you having for dinner tonight, guys? What's going on for dinner?
Deb Webb says hi.
Deb, hey, how are you? It's good to see you. Kind of. So, all right. So we're going to move on to the cranberry relish part of the evening. Tonight's going to be, like I said, it's probably going to be a fast cooking with Kathy. Gets me back in the hang of it, gets you guys back in the hang of having to look at me, so you don't have to look at me that long. But yeah, let's talk about second helpings for just a minute. We've got a lot, it's that time of year. Want to invite everybody, I mean everybody, to Tonic Ball. you can still get in. You didn't have to buy your tickets in the first 6 days because this year Tonic Ball is virtual. Everybody gets to watch it. Go over to our webpage, secondhelpings.org. Big thing about Tonic Ball, register. The only reason you're registering is so you can find out the link so you can watch Tonic Ball live. It's going to be awesome. We're going to do it very, very safely. Social distancing. Just the bands in the theater. But it's going to be fun. I'm actually going to do a watch party that night from home and on Zoom. So if you want to hang out with me, the Tonic Ball starts at 7. I'm going to start at 6. I'm going to make a little cocktail. Maybe we can make some dinner together. And then we can Zoom and talk about stuff. And we can still watch Tonic Ball together. So head over to my page for that event. I'm not sure if I shared it with Second Helpings, if it's up yet. If not, Emily the genius can take care of that for us. So I'll get her that link and everything. So, all right, guys. Cranberry Relish. So when I was little, I was super excited with the canned Cranberry Relish. Like it would come out and it was a big chunk, and I thought that was the best thing in the world. Then I grew up a little bit, and now I like just a little bit. So now I'm all about the fresh Cranberry Relish, and there's so many different recipes out there. But this one's kind of cool. It's got an orange and an apple in it. Again, I think Emily's got the recipes up somewhere for you guys, so you can find those. And I also think that these videos are going to end up on our YouTube channel, so you can watch it again, share it with your friends, whatever you want to do. $5 feeds a family of 4, guys. $5 feeds a family of 4. Thank you again for all you do. Let's jump into Cranberry Relish. So, I got some fresh cranberries here. 12-ounce bag of fresh or frozen cranberries. We got some fresh ones here. I got a 1.5 cups of sugar. I just measured it out that way. We've got a couple of oranges we're going to use here. Granny Smith apple for some of that tartness going in there. We don't need the chicken bouillon. I'm going to use a blender instead of a food processor. The only thing that is on the recipe that sometimes I put in, sometimes I don't, are the toasted pecans. And we're going nutless tonight because there's some people that have nut allergies. So again, the pecans are something you just put in if you want to. It's something you put in at the end. Don't have to. Walnuts is another good one to go in there. I like walnuts and cranberries really good together. Okay, so this is the 1/2 cup of cranberries. So 12-ounce bag, I took out 1/2 cup. We're going to put all but that 1/2 cup in a little saucepan here. And then we're going to put, where's my sugar? Right here. So we're going to put about, I think we're going to do the cup of sugar. We're going to put that in there, so we'll leave the 1/2 cup. So that's going in there. We're going to put just a little bit of water. 1/4 cup of water is what I've got on the recipe. So we're just going to put a little bit of water in here, and basically we just want to make sure that we have enough so those cranberries don't burn. I'll put a little bit more.
Emily wants to know if you would do anything differently if you used a food processor instead of a blender.
No, absolutely not. So it's the same exact thing. I'll put those cranberries on there. I'm also going to do a zest of an orange here. So you can, several ways, you can take a peeler and get yourself a nice orange zest. I'm going to put a pretty big one in there. Main thing, you just don't want to get too deep into the white, the pith. That's going to start to get bitter when you do that. So we've got the sugar, the orange zest, and the cranberries all going in the pan right now. about 10 minutes till they start getting soft. And then we're gonna increase the heat a little bit, 12 minutes, so they'll burst and start to be easier to use, and then we'll go from there. So it's gonna take a couple minutes for that to heat up. What's anybody want to talk about? Nobody's told me what they're having for dinner yet. Obviously, we're having turkey brine soup and cranberry relish. So that's what we're gonna have for dinner tonight at the Jones household. We might throw some fresh herbs in. So, and we got dogs talking again. What's the excitement for? How many people are gonna watch Tonic Ball? This is gonna be great. I mean, it's always great that it sells out, and we're obviously going to miss being able to hang out and go to all the venues, but we can't do that this year, so this is like the next best thing because everybody gets to watch it. So I'm excited about that.
So Deb is with you. She grew up loving jellied cranberry sauce, but now all she likes is fresh. She just bought 2 bags of cranberries. Emily's having chicken and rice for dinner. Second Helpings is having PB&J.
Okay.
Trent's having DoorDash. He's got COVID.
I know, Trent. I saw that.
So
stay safe.
DoorDash is bringing him Thai food. Hopefully the rain delay on the Masters will let up. David's having crackers and sliced cheese.
That's good.
We also have Tammy from New Hampshire.
Hi, Tammy from New Hampshire. How are you?
That's how I have to describe my coworkers. Tammy from New Hampshire, Tammy from Indiana.
All right.
Katie's having PB&J too. Maybe that's what we'll have for dinner tonight. Seems to be popular.
Katie's at work tonight, I bet.
Oh,
I bet
gotcha.
she's manning the fort tonight at Second Helpings. So everybody there's having PB&J. Darn it, I missed out. So
We can do that here.
we could do PB&J for dinner tonight too. One of my guilty pleasures that I had talked to some of my co-workers in the office about, and they thought it was the most disgusting thing, is I love Goober. The peanut butter and jelly
No lie.
that comes in the jar, all like peanut butter and jelly in there. I will just like take a spoon and eat it right out of the jar. So that is a secret.
Somebody said no.
Yeah, I know. That is
Angry
a secret
face.
that probably nobody needed to know. But yeah, I like that.
What do chefs like to eat? Goober.
Anything that somebody else is cooking for me. I like everything. There's not a whole lot I don't like. Those of you that hang with me in the kitchen at work know that I can't stand celery. So that's one thing that I really don't like. But other than that, I like everything. But, people say, oh, you come home from work. Not as much now, but when I was working in the restaurant world, people are like, oh, what are you going to fix? I'm like, a bologna sandwich. Whatever takes zero amount of time for me to fix. I mean, I was, it's kind of like the plumber, I guess, that can't wait to get home and work on his own pipes or something. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. So, but when I love to eat anything. I mean, I'm trying to think what I don't like to eat, and there's not that much.
Trent said you are what you eat.
Yeah. Am I a big goober, Trent? Is that what you're trying to say? Trent's calling me a goober. So, all right. So I'm just giving it, it smells really good. The orange in with the cranberries is starting to smell really good. So, just letting those start to get the sugar to dissolve, get the cranberries to go a little bit soft, and then won't take too long. So, what are your guys' favorite Thanksgiving dishes? Do you have guilty pleasure dishes? Do you like that green bean casserole with the French's onions on top? What are some of your favorite Thanksgiving sides, or things that, just anything, things that are favorite sides or things that you normally don't eat unless it's Thanksgiving or the holiday time? That'll be fun. Let's see what that is. I don't know, man. I like everything. So it's hard to say what at Thanksgiving time. So Holly had to let the dogs out, so I have to wait till she gets back so I can see what your comments are.
Joy says yeast rolls.
Oh yeah, yeast rolls are, yep. So,
I tried to make yeast rolls once. They came out like biscuits, remember?
oh yeah.
They were great biscuits.
They were great biscuits.
They weren't great yeast rolls.
So, my favorite thing is oyster dressing or scalloped oysters. That's probably my favorite Thanksgiving side.
Emily says mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese, yeah. I was gonna do mac and cheese next week.
Joyce also said mashed potatoes and gravy.
Yep, mashed potatoes and gravy. Does anybody have any weird family traditions? I shouldn't say weird. Does anybody have anything, like what kind of, how about pies? What's everybody's besides a pumpkin pie? Does anybody have a Thanksgiving pie? Sugar cream pie?
Stephanie shared a recipe. It's called the best tomato pudding. She said it's weirdly good.
Oh, is that only a Thanksgiving thing?
Green bean casserole.
Yep, green bean casserole.
Yeah, tomato pudding. We'll have to look at that
We'll have
recipe.
to look at that tomato pudding recipe. All right, so I can hear my cranberries starting to pop a little bit now. We got the sugar dissolved in there. And again, I like to use the raw sugar in the raw. But any sugar you want to use is fine with that. As I always say, a recipe is a guideline. Do what makes you happy with that. So,
Mince pie. David said.
Mincemeat pie?
Pecan pie.
Oh,
Emily
pecan
said.
pie.
That's her
pecan
favorite.
pie. That's my favorite pie. So.
She said no, it's good all winter long. Tomato
The
pudding.
tomato pudding. I'm gonna have to look at that. I'm gonna look at that recipe, see what it's about. All right.
Oh, turkey, mashed taters, stuffing, sweet potato casserole, pecan pie.
There
Mary
you go.
said.
Who said that?
Mary.
Awesome. Awesome.
Sweet potato fritters.
Guy, you guys got some good stuff going on. Maybe you guys do the show next week. That would be fun. But yeah, Tonic is coming up next Friday night. Super excited about that. I was hoping I would have my swag, but hopefully it'll be here next Thursday. Or I think we're doing, next Thursday. Yes.
David Webb, Mrs. says, mother-in-law's homemade noodles. Any advice on making homemade noodles? The kind you put in chicken and noodles.
Yes, they are so easy to make.
Deb said that.
The whole trick is just getting them to the right dried consistency after you made them. But it's super easy, David. It's like...
Deb, sorry, I misread the name.
Oh,
it was Deb, yeah.
Super easy, Deb. I'm happy to... I'll have a recipe for you tomorrow. It's so easy. Shoot me an email or we'll have it on Second Helpings. I'm throwing this out there. Emily, can we put it on Second Helpings Facebook page and get it up there? Or again, shoot me an email. I can email it directly to you. It's Kathy@secondhelpings.org. So, we're going camping this weekend. We're going to get one more in before the season is over. So,
well, the season really is over, but we're getting one more in.
Season? What season? So yeah, things are going great. Second Helpings. We graduated 2 classes this week. We're going to graduate 2 classes, so we're excited about that. Take a little bit of a break for Thanksgiving, so we're going to start the next 2 classes in December, December 7th, so that's going good. And again, we're still feeding 40,000 people a week. The models have changed a little bit. We're doing lots of sandwiches and lots of grab and goes, but we're still feeding about 40,000 people a week. So thank all of you volunteers. We truly appreciate it. We want you to stay safe. It's getting, the numbers are going up, so we want you to stay safe. So we want to make sure you're comfortable before you come in, and we want you to be safe. That's the most important thing.
So David said, no, this is truly David, not
Okay.
Deb. That was really dark. My sister-in-law asked me to make apple turnovers for Thanksgiving because I made them before and apparently she enjoyed them. We made Thanksgiving last year the sweet potato dumplings.
Yes, we did sweet potato dumplings.
So delicious.
I think Holly did all of the sweet potato dumplings.
Yeah.
So those were really
good.
Everybody loved them. I think we had them like the next week too. So okay, so the cranberries are starting to pop. I've got the heat up a little bit, but we're really starting to pop now. Man, I'm going to show you guys this. It smells so good. And you can see how they're starting to burst a little bit there. So, we're going to let that do that. I'm going to look at my recipe to see what I told you guys to do next. So we're going to, might as well just go ahead and do this. We're going to do a Granny Smith apple and an orange. We're going to quarter both of them. I'm going to go ahead and core the apple to try to get some of the seeds out of it. You don't have to do this, and I'm just being kind of lazy, actually. I'm trying to get all the seeds out of there that I can. So, I did pretty good, too. So, all the seeds out of there. So we're going to quarter this. This is a big apple, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop it down a little to 8s instead of quarters. And then we're going to do the same thing with the orange here. Quarter it. We want to leave the peel, the zest on, because we definitely want to get the flavor. There's so much flavor in that zest. I'm going to take off the little stem there. So,
where are you putting that?
What?
Those.
I'm going to put them in there.
Oh, you're going to keep the peel on?
Yeah, that's what I just... Apparently Holly's not listening to anything I'm saying.
No, I'm listening. So. I just wasn't expecting that to go in there too.
So we're going to put that in there. We're going to put that in there with the sugar that we saved. I'm going to check the cranberries again. See how soft they're getting. Oh, this is getting good, guys. This is, smells really good. So, cool. Okay, so I'm using like I said, you can use a food processor. Nothing's going to be any different in how you would use it. I'm just going to use a blender because it's out. So, I didn't cut this guy. And we're not pureeing it. We're just going to do kind of a rough chop on it. So, doesn't have to go forever. Probably almost like a pulse on there to get it that way. Okay, so we got unpeeled orange apple. We got all the seeds out of it. We're going to put the half a cup of sugar right in there. Put the lid on. Hopefully I got everything right. Turn the power on, and we're just going to pulse it a little. And again, if you want the chunks smaller, you can do it smaller. I want them, not super big. I mean, obviously we're not dicing them or chopping them, so it's going to be a little bit smaller than that. But it's not going to be pureed.
Now Tammy from Indiana is on.
Hi, Tammy.
Tammy, we had New Hampshire Tammy on too.
Almost there. I'm just going to do a couple more pulses, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. So it looks like that. Not super fine, not big, huge chunks. And I'll take it out and put it in a bowl so you guys can see. So,
how many servings does this make?
This will make about 6 to 8, depending on how much other stuff you have for Thanksgiving dinner. But yeah, probably 6 to 8. Again, depending on what size serving, but you're thinking of it as a side. So probably, 3-4 ounces per person for the serving. All right. So that's kind of what it's going to look like. Still have a few chunks in there. But, it's finer than dicing it, but it's not pureed. So we got that. Let me check our cranberries again. Doing really good. I'm going to turn them down. So, if you were putting the walnuts or the pecans or whatever you wanted to put in there, you want to throw those in the oven, toast them for about 7 to 10 minutes, around 350, 375. You can spray the pan if you like. You can spray the top of it, gives a little bit more browning on the top if you do that. And then I wouldn't put anything on them because you're going to put them into a very flavorful, we've got the cranberries, we've got the apples, we've got the oranges going on. So I don't think that you need to like candy them or put anything sweet on them. Now, if you like spice and you want a little bit of heat, you can kick it up a little bit, put a little bit of cayenne on top of them. I wouldn't go too crazy with it, but yeah, you can put a little bit of cayenne on top of them. All right, so I think we're pretty close here, everybody. I think that this is looking pretty good. They're all nice and soft. Maybe just a second longer. To make sure we get them down there. Let me see. Did I get everything I was supposed to do? I just got to double check, guys. I'm supposed to put these in. So I'm going to put these in now because the idea is you've got some of the cranberries, the majority of the cranberries are going to be soft and they're not going to be as firm. So we're going to throw these in, and that's going to give you a little bit of that texture. So those won't pop completely. They're going to soften a little bit, but they won't be as soft as the cranberries that we've had in there for the whole 10, 12 minutes, whatever it's been in there. That's the other thing. The nuts will give you that texture, will give you that crunch. And you're going to get some of that crunch with the apples and the oranges in here. I'm going to put just a little bit of salt and pepper in here, just a tiny bit, and again, just to bring out some flavor. So most of you guys know I always keep a nice mixture of salt and pepper, makes it easier. It's all ready to go. So we're just going to let that, oh man, this is looking so good, you guys, so good. All right, so is everybody eating dinner? Peanut butter and jelly, chicken and rice, cheese and crackers. Did I miss anything? What else is anybody eating? Let me get a bigger bowl out.
You might have to use a silver bowl.
Okay. I was trying to do something I could see.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. Silver bowl. All right. Silver bowl.
Emily said she's never had cranberry sauce with heat, so she's curious now.
With beets.
Heat.
Oh. Well, we're gonna chill it before you eat it.
No, the cayenne. Sorry, that's what she meant.
I'm so confused.
Sorry, I'm not speaking in full sentences.
I thought it might be kind of a neat flavor. I mean, not super, super hot, not super, super spicy, but just a little bit of that. And you could even do some sugar on the nuts also. So, okay. I'm gonna let this go. I just want those cranberries. I should have put those the other cranberries in a little bit earlier, but I blew it because I was too busy talking. and not paying attention. And again, recipes are guidelines, guys. As I always say, if you like more, put more of it in. If you like less, if you wanted to sweeten it up, instead of using a Granny Smith, you could use a sweeter apple. You could use a Honey Crisp or something that's a little bit sweeter like that if you'd like.
Tammy loves watching you cook.
I'm kind of rusty. I haven't done cooking with Kathy in a while, so I have been cooking though. All right. Okay, so this is what it looks like. We've got almost it's all melted down. The cranberries are all nice and melted down, and then we have the ones we just put in there. So I'm gonna flip this over. We're gonna put that in there.
You made a really good butternut squash soup recently.
I did. Last week made butternut squash soup. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this orange zest that we cooked that with. I'm just going to pull that out just because it's a big long piece of orange zest, and you probably don't want, unless you wanted to give a prize like the king cake, like you could give a prize away. Whoever gets this in their salad gets a prize or something. I don't know. I'm being silly now.
David said you next Food Network star.
Yeah. All right. So now we're just going to pour in. This will be the time we put the nuts in too. And we're just going to gently fold that in there. Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just do a nice gentle fold in. And then we're going to chill this before you serve it.
Pull back just a little. There you go.
I guess you wouldn't have to. We can try it and see what it tastes like warm. Might be a whole new something we've come up with. But it's so colorful and it smells so good, you guys. Got all that nice texture in there. And the nuts, man, that would be really good. That would be really good. So that's what we're looking like. You want to try it?
Sure.
Okay, we're going in for a little taste. See what it tastes like, guys.
It's really good.
Perfect sweetness, too. That's really good. So, again, you can add more sugar, less sugar. I think this came out perfect with the sweetness level and everything. It'll taste really good when it chills. It tastes really good right now.
Throw that in a crust and call it pie.
Good. That's true. You just throw it in a crust, and now you have a new pie for the holiday. Or a crumb. That would be really good. Like a cranberry crumb. That would be really good. Okay, guys, that's what we got for tonight. I'm thinking for next week we're going to do maybe a wild rice stuffing, some mac and cheese. I have a really simple cheese sauce that I like to make for my mac and cheese. And Brussels sprouts, maybe, you know, everybody, Brussels sprouts, I like Brussels sprouts, and maybe do some Brussels sprouts with bacon, you know, I mean, can't go wrong with that. Hey guys, it's good to be back. I'm excited. It's nice to spend this time with you. We've got, like I said, at least 4 or 5 more shows. So I'm happy though. Just because we've got a plan doesn't mean that we can't take some ideas. So shoot me any ideas that you have for your sides for Thanksgiving or something different that you'd like to see. I'm happy to do that. Head over to the Second Helping page, secondhelpings.org. There's all kinds of great information over there. I'm talking about tonic ball. Get yourself registered for that. Check out my event on my page, and I'm going to have Emily share that on Second Helpings page if she can. So you guys, if you're interested, come and hang out with me for a little while. Next Friday night, November 20th, for tonic ball. We're excited. We're happy to be doing it this year. A little different, but we're excited about doing it. There's also swag on the website, and I'm not sure if you can still order. I don't know if you can still order tonic swag or not. That might be over by now. But there's all kinds of second helping swag on the website that you can check out. There's some great notes and blog posts from our CEO, Jennifer. So check that out. And guys, it's great. I'm so glad that we get to do this. Thank you all. We again, as I always say, we can't do any of this without you guys. $5 feeds a family of 4. Check out what we're doing. Check out what's going on. Hopefully this craziness is going to be over soon and we can all have a huge party at Second Helpings and give each other hugs and stuff. I miss you guys, but I'm glad everybody's staying safe. I'm glad to see the people I am. Shoot me any questions, comments, any concerns you have. Kathy at secondhelpings.org. And I'll see you next week. So if you've got some ideas, let me know. Love you guys.